The ISO Rivolta motor car company is part of a rich tradition of small Italian auto manufacturers. This year in Carmel, the company is being honored with a celebration of its 35th anniversary. Now, let's take a look at some of the great ISOs on display here.
During the 60s, Modena witnessed the rise of new, small manufacturers competing fiercely against Ferrari's successful prancing horses. Industrialist Renzo Rivolta tapped into the region's talent pool and employed the skills of a young designer, Giorgetto Giugiaro, and former Ferrari engineer genius Giotto Bizzarini. The result? A hybrid car of super performance, the ISO A3L. Like Di Tommaso, Rivolta delivered a car with Italian style and American muscle, but with a Corvette V8 instead of Ford power. Renzo's son, Piero, continues the tradition.
Behind our ISO Rivolta idea was to have a very reliable engine with a Italian chassis that gave the feeling of a very fast car and so on. And that was our idea at the beginning.
This is an ISO Griffo A3L. It was the prototype of the ISO Griffo production car, built in 1963 and first shown at the 1963 Turin Auto Show. They built approximately 450 ISO Griffos.
But because this A3L was designed as a show car to wow the public, it features many items not found on production models. The detailed leather and wood-trimmed interior, along with the unique gear shifter, set it apart from other A3Ls. Its stainless steel roof trim is also unique.
It has the Corvette 327 340 horse engine. Obviously with the Corvette engine and transmission, it has a very Chevrolet feel to it, but with the tight English suspension and brakes, you know, it's like having a cross between an XKE and a Corvette at the time. It's won a number of shows, a number of concourses, Pebble Beach and Santa Barbara and Hillsborough and Meadowbrook. And today at this concourse, at the Concours Italiano, it won first runner-up to Best of Show, which I assume would be second best of show.
After his father's untimely death in 1966, Piero took control of ISO and went back to Carrozzeria Bertoni for a new design to replace the 2+2 Rivolta GT. The result was a Marcello Gandini-designed ISO Lele, which debuted in 1969.
The Lele model was named after Piero Rivolta's wife, Lele Rivolta. The car was built to go fast, to compete with the exotic car of its time, the Ferrari, the Lamborghini, but it was also meant to be dependable at that time. Because of the 5-speed transmission, it has 160-mile-an-hour capability. It's Chevrolet Corvette powered. It has a 327 Corvette engine with a 350 horse solid lift cam engine in it, which came stock with the car. It had a German transmission, Jaguar suspension. When you buy an ISO, you're not just buying an automobile, you're becoming part of the Rivolta family.
Do not go away. When Classics returns, we'll look at the Bizzarini. Welcome back to Classics. Now, a very special ISO, the Bizzarini GT Strada.
This was made in 1965, and Bizzarini was hired by Rivolta to develop his cars. They developed this Bizzarini, which was later to be a race car model. Giugiaro had a lot to do with it. He was working with Bertoni at the time, so Bertoni probably put his 2 cents worth in now and then. It was an aluminum car, and a lot of body putty on the aluminum to smooth out the bumps so that they could put a nice coat of paint on it.
Because of its all-aluminum body, this brilliant yellow Bizzarini weighs in at around 2,500 pounds. With a potent Corvette 327 lurking beneath the hood, this featherweight GT cruiser packs a powerful punch. The no-nonsense interior is simple but efficient.
The rear end is DDO'd, which is a thing to have, and cornering is, again, excellent. It'll hold the road at 60 miles an hour or 120. I've had it up to a top of about 120, and I chickened out after that.
In the early 70s, ISO was hit hard by the government safety regulations and the energy crisis and was forced to close its doors. But today, ISO is back and is planning to build a new Grifo.
When we start again to produce the Grifo, we keep very small number. We want to make no more than 200 cars a year so the people know that they buy a special car. Even if we sell 600, we make 200.
With their artistic approach to producing cars, the Italians have set important precedents